Now let's invite Madam Sheng from the Anji government's experimental kindergarten. Let's welcome. Distinguished experts, good afternoon. Grow through self-denial and rid children of all the limitations. How you treat children reflects your image of children at the particular moment. Why we always go back to this sentence? Your image of child is not created in a single day. Not everybody has the same image of child, and not every Anji teacher have such a profound understanding of children just today. Now I will share with you the journey, how guided by children, as teachers we always change ourselves, deny ourselves, and achieve self-renewal. First, we found the more teachers do, less children can do, and less children can decide on their own. When Anji changed the playground, I found everything around us can be our resources. So we go to waste goods ground. That is why we brought this broken van into our kindergarten. We thought children would love this broken van, so we invited the best art teacher to decorate the van. We just want to create a beautiful van, but we didn't tell that to the art teacher. After a day's work, a shining, big-eyed van was created. Teachers brought in their children's seat. We also attached bow ties, and we also provide carpet for the inside of the van. Teachers were so proud of our van. Well, our decoration job is done. Isn't this a luxurious van? Doesn't it look so cozy? I think this is all the work that teachers should do. However, on the second day, I still can't remember. I can't forget about this. I saw children were very careful. Where the van has a big eye, they will use cotton to draw and paint carefully. Well, we should provide an environment for children to explore. The reason we provide carpet inside the van is we want to give a space for children for role play. However, this kind of decoration just makes children more timid. They dare not go ahead. They became too nervous. But how about we remove all the decorations? Will children come and play? What kind of support should we give to children's play? The second day, we move out the carpet. So in this picture, you can see children became more relaxed. We have spent so much energy in coloring the exterior of the van, but children were quite immune to this. The second day, children came to play the driver's game. And then they put their own color to cover the color layer of the van. Well, I think we should just provide a white canvas for children so they have more room for imagination. They will know that there's so much space. It's all left for them to create. Inside of the van, They not only do graffiti, they play games like fire. They also brought in other materials like blocks and ladders to the van. Gradually, children play graffiti in areas around this van. We found that we don't provide enough space for children to do graffiti, so we built a ceramic wall behind the van. Children paint more graffiti. Because children shift places to play, they expand their play, so their play took place in more places beside the curtain, on the lawn, and they even paint their own house. In a rainy day, they also have free play. So the takeaway is, the more teachers do, the less room we give for children. So after experiencing forced play, I think I really care about children. I think I really changed my image of child. Yet still I have so much old concept. I'm so bound by formalities. I just don't trust children. So I was denied by children. That is why we need to have a revolution. We must change all our blood. We must get rid of our bad ideas so as to provide children pure land, pure sky for them to explore. The second story is, if children have to follow teachers' gameplay, then their play will be very limited. Big toys are iconic plays or iconic toys in many kindergartens. When we have this gigantic machine, children were not interested. So instead, we introduce many loose materials like tires and rollers. And then we found that gradually children came to those big toys less. Without all these big toys no longer exciting? Is it because I provide so many challenging materials that children no longer come back to those big toys, big structures? And what else can we do? So we create a set of more challenging, fixed mechanism of big toys. There are many things here, like things hanging down, things you can play balance. I think I have provided a big toy that is able to support many of the 5 development areas required by the guideline. I was so proud of my invention. At first, children were quite excited. They were very interested in strange materials. Well, this big toy, of course, is much more interesting to play than the old ones. But as time went by, they were just left behind. Nobody came to it. They may build a little house next to it. They may build a slide or they run around, but nobody came back to the big toys. So what we can do? Can I make something even more challenging than the big machine I have created? So I decided to work on the playground. I saw children using all kinds of panels, slides, ladders to build things like they can crawl over, they can slide down. I saw a replica of all the movements I saw previously in the big toy. Children can move all these materials into different spaces. Children can even change their design according to their needs, day by day. I found what can have constant interest of children. These are materials that children have control over. These are the materials that can respond to children. Although we have designed the most challenging ever machine in the world, they're still a big toy with fixed gameplay. You have to play in a certain way. So we make the decision, we dismantled the big toy I have made. I dismantled the big toy behind it as well. When they were dismantled, then there's no other rules attached to any of the components. They became loose materials. They are now open to infinite possibilities. They can build slides anywhere, and they have so much joy in building the slides because they now have control over materials. They can enact change anywhere they want. It's their raw material. They take ownership of materials. And not just using these materials, but anything they think fit. And they can create very complex, multi-purpose rollers. I can see these rollers created by children are much more interesting than what we have provided them. I saw children using ladders, using slides, and when it's becoming hotter and hotter, then children build roof. And when they build higher and higher, they have the sense of risk-taking. And they actually move into bolder movements, more sensory movements. We're so amazed by how far children's imagination could go. They have infinite combination. They have infinite play. Every day, children are creating their own big machine, big toys. So this is the dismantled big toy. When they are dismantled, I see we now give children the agency to control their environment. Today, when you came to our kindergartens, you say, well, your kindergarten changed once again. That's because we really heard the needs of children. That is why we entirely change our environment to give full play to children. When the big toys disappeared, the slope, the hilltop, now is open to all children. If teachers design the toys, children can only follow designed gameplay. We have to forget the old idea about traditional games. It seems that we all need big toys, but let's give up this idea. Only when you truly trust children can you truly give up the idea that you must have big toys. So change environment according to children's needs. Challenge our status quo. Challenge our old concepts. Third story, if we overly protect children, children can't protect themselves. In the early days, all the principals of Anji kindergartens visited all the wood carpentry factories and bamboo factories. Whenever a factory can create these tools for children, of course, lots of principals have visited and started these factories. Nobody ever told us what is an Anji material and how this material would truly be. So parents were angry. Some parents rushed into our office. Your material is so dangerous. You see, when my child goes down a ladder, I have to hold him fast. How can you let my child play the roller, the oil tank? You have to fix all your moving materials with concrete. I'm so worried. Because we're so worried, we understand why we are worried. We wonder how these materials would stimulate children's development. And also, should teachers really give up the control of material to children? Now we have to give up our control, and children can master and decide what to play anywhere they want. Even if teachers are always observing, there are still blind spots to teachers. How can we cope? So we put ladders and the heavy tanks. We hide them. But the second day, we found that even though we hide the ladders, children use big luggage box. They use panels to build even things higher, taller, and they jump from the very high container. They build ladders by themselves. How can we control children? We can't control them. Even though we control materials today, I think tomorrow children will climb up to trees. They will invent their new plays. When children play swing, we found that children tie the knots and then they just let go. They actually invented their own way of playing spring, the swing. What material is really safe? What environment is really risk-free? There are no such material, no such environment. So we discussed with Madam Cheng. She said, let's trust children. How can we understand that? Let's trust children. If teachers should be responsible for the present and future of children, should teachers shy away from our responsibilities? Well, teachers are not shying away. Teachers are brave enough to shoulder responsibilities and provide maximum opportunities for children. So we observe children. Let's take down evidence. How children play. Do children really have a good mindset about safety? We observe. And we also changed our overall environment. We provide material buffer zones in sandpit and also buffers in the playground. And then we started to observing children. And then we are no longer worried. We hold back our hands. We are no longer nervous. We now became appreciating children's movements. We took great joy in observing their play. I saw children already put buffer on the stump. If there are no buffer there, if there's no cushion there, children will not jump from the stump. We also saw nannies change their ideas. In the past, nannies hate children going to the rubber ground. They hate us using ladders. But now you can see even our nannies, the caretakers, appreciate children play. Caretakers believe that children are well capable of taking care of themselves and assure their own safety. So when one child is about to come down, the other will hold the cushion fast. When somebody concerned that a ladder is about to slip away, I will support it. I will fasten it. I actually lay all the playground with cushions. Wherever you want to jump, I would provide you thicker cushions. When children sense any danger, they would adjust their way of juxtaposition. When he's about to jump from the stump, he put the cushion on the wooden box. But if I slip away, would I slip to the outside area? So they actually built a wall around the cushion. Not just on the rubber ground, in every place. Wherever children believe there's a danger, they always take precautions. We were worried that teachers and caretakers have to help children move heavy materials. But how do children move very heavy materials? They roll them. 2 of them actually carry them. And 3 of them actually lift them together. These children need to take this very heavy wooden box to another place. To carry from lower part. Some push it. Some exert force from the upper part. Some raise it. Children document it. Today, 6 people try to move the heavy box. 4 people lift it up. And many people came using forces to put the box up. I'm inside the box. And who are outside the box? We together put the very tall box onto the top. And then they adjust the position. When I have to carry very heavy things, I have to make sure there are people on every corner so as to move this very heavy box on top. So teachers actually make a project how we move a box and move it to a very high place. They not only raise it, they discover that using slopes, they can move these things to high grounds. Do everybody has to play this kind of rollers? Well, if children own their play, not all children would play the roller. This is only an exercise. How to play? Whether children will come here play or not depends on their self-evaluation. When this child couldn't stand steady, the other child will help steady it. And they will roll the roller to place with a corner so he could stand up. So on the 3rd week, this children master the art of rolling. He would invite more friends to come over to play. So children are only willing to take risks when they have full mastery of a material, only when they are fully familiarized with materials. So if you decide to give children freedom, children would take calculated risk. They will evaluate risk. And when they are evaluating risk, they will know how to avoid risks and protect their own safety. The story told us that excessive protection from adults and teachers would limit children and prevent them from developing their own sense of self-protection. I have shared with you 3 stories. Why the 3 stories? It has all to do with our image of children. That is why we believe Anji play is a revolution in which we return the right to play to children. And today, I have shown you the story. I still can't forget about it. In this particular play, I also experienced the process from not trusting children to today we fully trust children. We now have great awe for children. We admire children. And we became advocate for children's rights. Let's safeguard children's rights. When we give freedom to children, I'm also liberalized. I'm free. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sheng Yi.